Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another week of me trying to be profitable and earn a payout. Pretty slow week this week, but pushing through and doing our best to take those A+ setups that do appear. But I've been pushing myself to do better every single day and just taking those steps to allow myself to rest up because the grind is pretty tough, I can't lie. Not gonna stop just because it's hard though, I'm just gonna keep pushing and I'm gonna make it to the top, you guys are gonna see that. And the main thing is that these things do take time, so I'm just gonna keep chipping away at it and keep grinding forever. And these things will come as a side product because of that work ethic. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's get into this week's trades. Alright gang, for today we seem to be moving pretty bullish as we were currently respecting this 1 hour fair value gap. We had the new week opening gap down here, which I think we could tap later on in the week, but it could still be a decent target after we sweep out the all-time highs. And low time seems to be pretty bullish too though, as we were retesting and respecting a 50-minute fair value gap and a 5-minute order block. And this here was technically a 50-minute CISD to the buy side to confirm to us the bullish market structure, and this little intricacy allowed me to determine my bias today for the longs. And I wanted to wait for some confirmation on a low time frame though, like a 1-minute shift or an IFG, as that would really get me to take the setup without hesitation. And going into the setup, we ended up shifting higher on the 1 minute, forming a 1-minute IFG, and price was holding pretty nicely. We did get a little bit of a retest, but honestly it shouldn't be too bad because I do expect that IFG tap to be possible. Yeah, so price ended up getting slapped down hard, and low-key I just had to accept it and let Inky stick it in already. And what was very nice of price was that after stopping me out, they decided to run to the moon. To be fair, there were quite a few things I did mess up on today, which I could have improved on. I would say for one, my entry was a bit premature, as I could have waited for price to retest into the 1-minute IFG. I think my mindset stuck on the prior few months price action where price just runs with heavy power. The thing is, I also failed to consider that today was a no news Monday, which is very notorious for having choppy price action. And I could have just kept the stop loss at the 5-minute high-low ranges low rather than the protected SMTs low, as that just protects me more from the wicks, which are more likely to occur in choppy price action. So what were just some minor mistakes broke the trade, as these things can't be ignored. Realistically, had I considered that today was no news and adjusted accordingly, I could have taken a nice little dub to start off the week, but instead I just took a quick one for a loss of 350. Alright, so today the high time frame is traveling quite bullish, with us being pretty close to the all-time highs, with the only real problem I have being that we don't have that many bullish confluences to back up a push higher. And the low time frame was showing the opposite as well, with us having a 15 and 5-minute order block for the sells. And we did have some bullish confluences too, but we ended up inversing one of those imbalances, creating a breaker. And because of that breaker development, I felt a lot more bearish in the current moment, with us being able to target the most recent high time frame imbalances, which is the 1 hour fair value gap below. And I ended up entering in after seeing that price developed a 1-minute IFG to the sell side. We had those other imbalances backing up the setup already, and this inverse fair value up was the confirmation that I needed to get in. And it was looking a bit slow though, as price just dropped around slowly for a while, and we were starting to get some selling pressure, but it low-key wasn't enough. And then with what I could have done better, perhaps I could have avoided trading today because there wasn't that much clarity for the trend, as there were some bullish confluences present too, and the lack of the high time confluences made price a bit unpredictable to read. And you can see that price action wasn't the prettiest today, and with the setup today, I'm pretty happy with it in all honesty, as it was a setup backed up by my model and one that I'm happy with. I had my stop loss placed at a good spot too from what I learned on Monday, which is to keep my stops at the high or low of the 5-minute high-low range that I based my trade off of, and I stuck to the plan, which is what I'm happy with. And I do think that this is just one of those losses that are to be expected, as my model is not a 100% win rate. And it's all good though, I'll be patient and wait for the next setup to come. Alright guys, we had a pretty strong push low today, with us developing a new 1 hour order block from this massive wave down, and this push low also developed a CISD to the sell side, which added on to this overall sell bias that I was developing. And looking at the low time frame, we were also moving pretty bearish too, and we had this key level of a 15-minute fair value gap and a 5-minute order block, which overlapped with the 5-minute high-low golden zone, and this area made it a really strong interest point that I wanted to see price retest. And if we did inverse these imbalances, then I would feel pretty bullish with us being able to target the 1 hour order block developed from before. But I do feel like the prominent low is a strong target. And low-key, I didn't find a setup today. We ended up chopping really slowly and price just really didn't go anywhere. I was still waiting for that 15-minute fair value up tap because I didn't want to enter without that key level being at least retested into. And we ended up hitting market open before that tap in, and we just dumped. It was pretty slow low-key, and I thought maybe we could get a little retest higher. Nope, we just ended up dumping even more and swept out my target, which is where I decided to call it for today. And honestly, I'm pretty alright with today. Didn't end up finding a setup today, but it's all good. Not gonna find a setup every every day, and today is just one of those days, and it's just a bit unfortunate that it didn't play out. And I did see that initial 5-minute high low range that price was respecting, and low-key, I did think about taking it, but I just told myself to sit out of it because it wasn't the most probable in my opinion, and had price retested into my key level, I would have not been able to trade due to being stopped out, and I also would have felt stupid. So yeah, honestly, all good with today. Hi gang, for the analysis today we do seem pretty bullish overall as we had an equal low sweep on the 4-hour, which was a pretty strong buying indication, and we were currently retesting and respecting this 1-hour order block for 2, so we were overall just aligning strongly for bullish. And coming down to the low time frame, we do seem pretty decent too, as we are retesting pretty nicely into this 15-minute highlight golden zone range. We do have this 15-minute order block that's overlapped with this range too, so this makes for a pretty nice entry. Though we do have this 5-minute order block above 2, which is overlapped with the 15-minute fair value gap, so I wouldn't be surprised if we push higher from that either. And for today, yet again, there was no setup. I was sitting here for a while just waiting to see if the setup would follow through, but we didn't end up getting that though, and price just ended up selling off hard. I low-key didn't see any potential for the shorts today since we didn't sweep the internal high, which is why I didn't end up going for it. And the high time room was more aligned for the longs too, so overall like longs would have been the A+ setup, and we didn't end up getting that, so though it's all good. We'll just keep being patient and wait for those steps to come. But yeah, that's about it for this week. Alright, so that about does it for this week. Pretty quick week, all things considered. I didn't take too many setups because there wasn't that many setups that confirmed after I marked them out. All good though, I just gotta be patient and wait for the setups to come, and I can't force these random B and C setups that because they won't help my account. What's going to help me is taking those A+ setups with confidence, and for that to work out, I need the patience and discipline to keep waiting till those setups do come where I can then take them without hesitation. But yeah, didn't perform the best overall this week, but it's all good. I know I can do great, I just need time to back it up. But yeah, that's about it for this week, so I'm gonna go do my assignments now. And if you guys are interested, check out the Discord. There's a chill place for everybody to talk and grow as traders, and yeah, I don't know if you guys are keen. But that's about it for this one, so I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.